everyone, welcome to our podcast. Today we are talking about population communities, plus some fascinating topics like population interactions and age pyramids. I'm your moderator, Katka, and with me are our hosts, Eliška and Sabi. How is it going, girls?
I'm doing amazing and I'm super excited that we can do this podcast together.
Same here.
Okay, so let's start simple. Eliška, can you tell us what a population is?
Sure, a population is a group of organisms of the same species living in the same area. It's like all the frogs in the pond or like all our classmates in our classroom.
That's cool. But population don't just stay the same, right?
Right, population grow or shrinks because of these three things: birth rate, death rate, or migration.
Emigration can happen with the same country, which is internal, or between different countries, which is external. For example, from Poprad to Bratislava, that's internal, but from Slovakia to Germany, that's external.
What about population attributes? What do those mean?
Okay, so firstly, age and health is the population, mostly young, old. Sex ratio, a balance of females and males. This can really affect things like reproduction. Diversity, cities, for example, often have more ethnic and cultural diversity than rural area. Density, how crowded the area is. Think of empty park compared to a packed concert.
High density isn't always good. For example, too many deers in the forest means they'll eat too many plants and then they will eventually starve.
Now let's talk about the communities. Sabi, how is a community different from a population?
Population is one species, but community is all different species living in the same area. For example, in forest there are trees, birds, insects, and they are all living together and interacting.
Communities are super interconnected. For example, if bees disappeared, tons of plants and crops wouldn't survive because they need bees to pollinate them.
Speaking of connections, let's get into population interactions. Eliška, can you explain some of these?
Of course, there are 6 main types. Let's break them down. The first one, mutualism. Both species benefit. Like bees pollinating flowers, they get the nectar and the flowers reproduce. The second one, communalism. One species benefits and the other isn't affected. Third one, parasitism. One species benefits but the other one is harmed. Like ticks on dogs or parasites on humans. The fourth one, predation. This is when one species eats another. The predator benefits and the prey doesn't. The fifth one, competition. Species compete for the same resources, like food or shelter. And the last one, amensalism. One species is harmed, but the other isn't affected. For example, elephants stepping on ants.
Poor ants! Imagine getting squished by something that doesn't even notice you exist.
Alright, let's switch gears to age pyramids. Sabi, can you explain what they are?
Sure, age pyramids are graphs that show the distribution of population. Firstly, expensive pyramid. This shows more young people than old. You see, this is a country with a higher birth rate. Second, stable pyramid. Here all age groups are the same size, meaning the population isn't growing or shrinking much. Third, constrictive pyramid. This shows more older people than young. It's common in developed countries with lower birth rate.
Fun fact, Japan has one of the most constrictive pyramids in the world. They even sell more adult diapers than baby diapers.
Whoa, that's wild. What does this matter though?
These pyramids helps government plan for the future. For example, country with lots of young people might need more schools, but country with more older people needs more healthcare and retirement homes.
Before we wrap up, let's hear some fun facts. Eliška, you first.
Okay, did you know that the Amazon rainforest is home for more than 10% of all known species? It's like ultimate community.
It's so cool. My fun fact is that ants make about 20% of all animals biomass on Earth. So for every human, there are about 2.5 million ants.
You guys are full of surprises. Thanks for joining me today, Eliška and Sabi, and thank you to everyone listening. Population and communities aren't just about numbers. They are the story of how life survives and thrives. Catch you next time.